thank God for the deep state.
In terms of talking about something that's continuing to also overhang the country, and certainly I'm sure the intelligence community, is the middle of the political fight we are all now in here in Washington with impeachment. And the president has made clear he has a lot of differences and distrust of the intelligence community. He has said that since he was on the campaign trail, and you hear that come up frequently. Now, the whistleblower in this case, as it pertains to Ukraine, we know, as has been widely reported, came from the CIA and happened to be detailed to the White House. What does this confluence of factors add up to here ultimately for the intelligence community? If President Trump is reelected, and he very well may be, what is that relationship going to be like? What does that mean for national security if that distrust continues to be fed, rightly or wrongly, but it exists?
Well, if I could take a crack at that, the one thing I'd be confident about is that the intelligence community will just keep doing its job. One of the things that is remarkable about it is there's a very clear sense of mission there. The intelligence community has been through a lot. Controversy is not unknown in that business. And therefore you get up every morning, come in and do your job, and that's what I'm confident they're doing. General Hayden and I have talked about this a number of times, and I think the relationship with Trump has gone through stages, and I think we're in another stage now. The way I would define the stages is the first stage was ignorance. He didn't know anything about it as a candidate. The second stage was hostility, and John has described that. Once it appeared to him that the intelligence information was somehow jeopardizing the legitimacy of his election. The third stage came about when he first confronted a problem in Syria, and he realized, and in North Korea, and he realized he needed it. The third stage was sort of the necessity of intelligence. And the fourth stage is the one we're in, I think, now, which is kind of resenting the need. But there is the need. You cannot conduct foreign policy without good intelligence. No president can, even a re-elected President Trump. And so this will always be, as long as he's there, a tense and conflictful relationship, which in many ways is the nature of intelligence anyway.
But there is something unique, you'd have to agree, that now the impeachment inquiry is underway, sparked by a complaint from someone within the intelligence community. It feeds the president's concern and often used term about a deep state being there to take him out.
Thank God for the deep state. I mean, I think, everyone here has seen this progression of diplomats and intelligence officers and White House people trooping up to Capitol Hill right now and saying, these are people who are doing their duty, who are responding to a higher call. It doesn't, I guess it doesn't, well, think about it for a minute. With all of the people who knew what was going on here, it took an intelligence officer to step forward and say something about it, which was the trigger that then unleashed everything else. Now, why does that happen? What I tell American people why that happens is this is the institution in the U.S. government that, with all of its flaws, and it makes mistakes, is institutionally committed to objectivity and to telling the truth. It is one of the few institutions in Washington that is not in a chain of command that makes or implements policy. Its whole job is to speak the truth. It's engraved in marble in the lobby.
This dysfunctional relationship, I think, that you're alluding to, the issue, the problem, is right near here. It's at 1600 Pennsylvania. It's not at the Hoover Building. It's not at Langley. It's not at Fort Meade. And the professionals that carry out their daily responsibilities in those places are going to continue to do what it is that they are expected to do. The reason why Mr. Trump has this very contentious relationship with CIA and FBI and the deep state people.
And you.
And me, yeah.
Specifically you.
I've heard
He's
that,
targeted you.
Is because they tell the truth. Because they cannot be manipulated like clay in his hands. Because they will stand up and speak out when things are wrong. And they'll tell him what the truth is. And the truth, he fears because he has lived on anything but the truth, not just during his presidency, but even before that. So thank goodness for the women and men who are at the intelligence community and law enforcement communities who are standing up and carrying out their responsibilities on behalf of their fellow citizens. So if he doesn't use their intelligence, if he doesn't use their contributions to this country's security, well, bad on him. But our people who continue to fight the fight in the trenches here as well as overseas will do their work irrespective of what he is going to do or say about them. When they raise their hand in an oath of allegiance to this country, as Andy said, they have that obligation. It's a duty of their oath. And that's what compelled this whistleblower, whether he's from CIA or wherever, to speak out. It's what's compelled Ambassadors Ivanovich and Taylor and Colonel Windman and others to be able to say, this is wrong. Mm-hmm. This is antithetical to the values that this country was founded upon. And unfortunately, there are too many people on the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue in the Congress who hold their nose over what's being done. And until they realize that what Mr. Trump is doing is trampling, again, the foundations of this great country of ours, we're going to be in for a rocky road. So I just am pleased every day that my former colleagues in the intelligence community are continuing to fulfill their duties.
Do you think the whistleblower...
It's not that I feel strongly about the issue at all.
No.